students, myself T.D. Karesan. Today I am going to take a poem from the 10th textbook. The name of the poem is Father Returning Home. This poem is written by Dilip Chitre. Dilip Chitre was born on 1938 and died on 2009. Actually, Dilip Chitre was celebrated as a bilingual poet, and he was a great translator. He had did a translation in Marathi and in English, so that's why he is known as a bilingual poet. He was an all-rounder person, and he had did a lot of type of work. He had did painting, filmmaking, and in the same way he had did the contribution for the magazines. He had got one prestigious award of Sahitya Academy. His poetry and his translation of Sage Tuka, for that he got the award of the Sahitya Academy. His work, which was very popular, at the age of 16, he had did the translation in Marathi of the Tukaram's Abhangas. He had written on so many issues. His writing, his work, he had did on so many subjects like exile, alienation, self-disintegration, and death. Now we will see about the present poem. Actually, this poem, Father Returning Home, is taken from his series Traveling in a Cage. In this poem, he draws a portrait of suburban commuter. In this poem, he depicts the picture of that commuter as his life is dull, monotonous, exhausting, and equally pitiable also. He had drawn the picture of that commuter very nicely. He describes in this poem the forced alienation of that person at home also. That is expressed through the reflections, like he is eating the stale food at home. Nobody is ready to share their joys with him. Children are refusing to share their joys and sorrows to their hardworking father. And because of that, he is living an isolated life in his own life. Actually, he is the earner of the family, then too nobody is caring him. And this loneliness is very painful to that middle class, old-aged person in this materialistic world. Dilip Chitre is one of the famous Indian poet, and he is a writer and critic, very well known. He was born in Baroda and went to Mumbai in 1951. He had did some famous work in that Ekun Kavita and collected poem, which were published in 1990 in 3 volumes. And this present poem is a biographical poem. His father, Purushottam Chitre, actually in 1957 was traveling from Bombay to Baroda every day for a work purpose. And that time narrator says that had not given attention towards my father, and I understood later about my attitude. We didn't care father, though the father was the earner of the family. Father was working hard for the family, but then too, nobody was caring of his feelings. Now, we will see the poem. First of all, I will read the poem, listen it carefully, and then we will see it thoroughly. See now. My father travels on the late evening train, standing among silent commuters in the yellow light. Suburbs slide past his unseeing eyes. His shirt and pants are soggy, and his black raincoat stained with mud. And his bag stuffed with books is falling apart. His eyes dimmed by age, fade homeward through the humid monsoon night. Now, I can see him getting off the train like a word dropped from a long sentence. He hurries across the length of the grey platform, crosses the railway line, enters the lane. His chappals are sticky with mud, but he hurries onward. Home again, I see him drinking weak tea, eating a stale chapati, reading a book. He goes into the toilet to contemplate man's estrangement from a man-made world. Coming out, he trembles at the sink. The cold water running over his brown hands. A few droplets cling to the graying hair on his wrists. His sullen children had often refused to share jokes and secrets with him. He will now go to sleep, listening to the static on the radio, dreaming of his ancestors and grandchildren, thinking of nomads entering a subcontinent through a narrow pass. Now students, read the poem silently and then we will start learning it. Okay, now we will see the poem line by line. My father travels on the late evening train. Narrator has described his own father in this poem, and in the same way he wanted to describe the old people who are working in the cities through this poem. Actually, narrator says that my father every day travels from the train late evening. Why? Because he is working somewhere, and so that's why he goes out of home early in the morning and comes late at the evening to home, standing among silent commuters in the yellow light. Now, how he was traveling in the railway, that is described here. Here is one word, commuters. Commuters means those who travel regularly from one place to another, typically to work. See, commuter means the person who travels every day from one distance to another distance. For what purpose? For his work purpose. They are traveling every day on that same distance, so that's why they are known as the commuters. So, these people who are working in the city, metropolitan cities, they had to travel from their home to workplace by the train, and we all know that in a train, how much is the crowd. So, these people, these commuters had do their traveling by standing only. And how is it? it is very boring because they were not getting the place for sit. So narrator says that my father used to travel every day in the evening train, standing with other commuters in that yellow light, in that dull light of the train. Suburbs slide past his unseeing eyes. Now he is traveling every day, so while traveling he can see so many suburbs which are near to the city, which are near to the metropolitan city. So every day he is watching, and that was very familiar to him, and might be that's why the narrator's father is not watching to that suburbs. There is one more reason for that. Might be his father is an old aged person and he is not able to see properly because of his dim eyes. His shirt and pants are soggy and his black raincoat stained with mud and his bag stuffed with books is falling apart. Now how is the condition, his attire? Actually, the narrator said that my father's shirts and pants had become soggy. We all know that because of it is happened because of the monsoon. His shirts and pants had become soggy. His black raincoat has also stained with mud. There is a lot of mud on his raincoat. There is one bag which is stuffed with books. That is on his shoulder and it is also falling apart. It is so heavy, that's why it is falling apart. How is the condition of the father? He is traveling in the train. There is no place for sitting. He had to stand. He had to travel by standing. In the same way, the condition is not good. His clothes, his shirt and pants had become soggy, completely wet. His raincoat has been stained. There are some dirty spots of mud on that raincoat. And there is one bag on his shoulder. It is stuffed with books and it is falling apart. His eyes, dimmed by age, fade homeward through the humid monsoon night. Now, narrator's father is a aged man, and so that's why his eyesight is not good. His eyesight is dim. He can look very faint. He can see the sight very faint. And he is going towards home. Though it is a humid monsoon season, then too his face had become withered. He had become tired because of the whole day's work and the traveling in the train after that. Now, I can see him getting off the train. Narrator says that my father every day late evening travels from the train and now I am watching him. He is getting off from the train. He is coming down from the train like a word dropped from a long sentence. We all know that this line is very, very nice line. It is an example of simile. The fathers is compared to a word. The father is compared to a word. For example, if we can see a long sentence and in that long sentence there are so many words. If we will drop any word from that sentence, we cannot lose the meaning of the sentence. That sentence didn't become meaningless. In the same way, the narrator's father every day travels from the train. There are so many passengers traveling from the train. So many come in the train and goes out of the train. So nobody cares for anybody. If narrator's father dropped from that train, come out from the train, nobody has a care. Nobody wants to look, to give attention towards him also. So his condition is like a dropped word from a long sentence. He hurries across the length of the grey platform. Here is the word grey platform. Grey platform means Gray due to cement. Gray due to cement. Cement. Here, but the meaning of grey platform is very different. Here, grey is used to suggest the old age, the dullness of the father's life. He hurries across the length of the great platforms. Actually, father dropped out from the train and now he wanted to go home in a hurry. Crosses the railway line, enters the lane. His chappals are sticky with mud, but he hurries onward. Actually, he is very tired of the everyday's routine of traveling and working. So that's why he wanted to go home in a hurry. He dropped out from the train, then he crosses the railway lines, he enters the lane. He is walking very fast. Though his chappals are sticky, muddy, he hurries onward. Might be he is thinking that the life at home will be different than this monotonous routine life. And so that's why he is in a hurry towards home. Understood the first stanza? Now, next one. Home again, I see him drinking weak tea, eating stale chapati and reading a book. When he come home, nobody give attention towards him. Nobody is going to care about him. So, he came home. After coming home, like every day, he is eating a very weak tea, tasteless tea. Like every day, he is eating that stale chapati. Today also there is no change in that. Every day's routine is the same and today also he had to eat that stale chapati. But he is not bothering about it. He is not feeling very sorry about it. But while eating that chapati and while drinking that tea, he is doing his work. His work, that is reading a book. He liked to read a book. Might be he was a very scholarly person and he loves to read books. So while drinking tea and eating that stale chapati also, he was reading the book. Then after that, see the next line. He goes into the toilet to contemplate. Here is the word contemplate. Contemplate means think deeply. Think deeply. See, now after coming home, he get his food, that is stale chapati and weak tea. Then he goes in the toilet. For what purpose? To contemplate. That means to think about his situation. See, he goes for thinking in the toilet. That means how small world is of that man. Narrator's father's world is very small and he went to think in the toilet. Man's estrangement from a man-made world. For what he was going to think? Man's estrangement. See, estrangement means what? Estrangement means alienation. Alienation. So, he was going to think about the alienation of him from this man-made world. How he is isolated from this world. Coming out, he trembles at the sink. After coming out of the toilet, he went near the sink and he is trembling. Trembling. What is the meaning of tremble? Tremble means shake. He is trembling there. Coming out, he trembles at the sink. The cold water running over his brown hands. A few droplets cling to the graying hair on his wrists. See? So, he came out of the toilet, stand near the sink. His hands are shaking. Might be because of the old age. Might be because of his position in this world. Might be because of the alienation which he living in this world. That's why he was trembling. Or might be because that cold water when comes out of tab on his hands, on his brown hands. That's why he trembled. A few droplets of that water cling on his graying hair, on his wrists. Here, narrator says that some drops of that water, droplets of that water were cling on his graying hair of his wrist. Here, droplet means life of the narrator's father and graying color means the old age of the narrator's father. His sullen children have often refused to share. Sullen. Sullen means bad tempered. Bad tempered. His sullen children have often refused to share jokes and secrets with him. His children are not good, they are bad tempered and they are not ready to talk with their father. They are not ready to share the jokes, their secrets with their father. Might be generation gap. They are not giving the demand to their father. Though the father is the earner of the family, who is very important for the family, but then too the children are not ready to talk with him, to share their secrets and jokes with him. He will now go to sleep, listening to the static on the radio, dreaming of his ancestors and grandchildren, thinking of nomads entering a subcontinent through a narrow pass. Now, narrator says that my father was going to sleep. That time also nobody is with him. He is alone. So what he is doing every day? Listening the radio while sleeping. So, how is that radio? It is static. It is not working properly. The sound is not properly coming out of the radio. But then too, every day he was listening the radio while sleeping because he wanted to hide his isolation, his loneliness, his alienation. And so that's why every day he listens radio and today also he was going to listen the radio. And in the same way what he was doing while sleeping, he was dreaming of the ancestors. Because why he was doing like that? The present is not giving him happiness. The present life which he was living is not giving him happiness, and so that's why he was dreaming of the ancestors, forefathers. And in the same way, dreaming of the future of the grandchildren, how they will be with him. Because his children is not working, his children are not talking with him properly. So ancestors were good for him and might be grandchildren who will also love him, who will also take care of him. In the same way, he was thinking of nomads. What is nomad? Nomads. Nomads means member of wandering tribes. listening the radio, dreaming of his ancestors and grandchildren, and thinking about the nomads, the wandering tribes, how they come in Asia continent, how they pass their narrow way. He was thinking about it. So the poem is over here. I hope you understood. Thank you.